Disappeared into the shadows, the Cleveland torso murderer. Cleveland, Ohio, the mid-1930s, a city struggling through the Great Depression, where poverty, crime, and desperation filled the streets. But hidden among the shadows of the city, a monster was at work. A killer so brutal, so mysterious, that even decades later, no one knows their true identity. They would become known as the Cleveland torso murderer. It began in September 1935. Two teenage boys exploring the shores of Lake Erie made a horrifying discovery. Lying in the grass were the remains of a man decapitated, dismembered. The body had been carefully cut apart, the head completely missing. Police soon realized something chilling. The victim had been killed by someone with surgical precision. Just weeks later, another body appeared, then another, and another. By the end of the investigation, at least 12 victims were linked to the killer. Most of them were drifters, homeless people, or individuals who lived on the edges of society. Many of the victims were never even identified, their heads removed, their bodies cut into pieces. Sometimes the killer even decapitated victims while they were still alive. The brutality shocked the nation. The newspapers gave the killer a terrifying name: the Mad Butcher of Kingsbury Run. Kingsbury Run was a vast shantytown where many of Cleveland's poorest residents lived, and it was also where many of the victims were discovered. Fear spread throughout the city. No one knew who the killer was, or who would be next. The case caught the attention of one of America's most famous crime fighters, Eliot Ness. Ness had already become legendary for bringing down Al Capone during Prohibition. Now he was Cleveland's public safety director, and he was determined to stop the butcher. In 1938, Ness took drastic action, ordered the entire shantytown of Kingsbury Run burned down. Hoping it would flush the killer out of hiding, hundreds of homeless residents were forced to leave, but the killer was never found. Investigators eventually focused on a mysterious doctor named Francis E. Sweeney. Sweeney had surgical training, a history of mental illness, and disturbing connections to several victims. He was questioned by Eliot Ness himself, but there was a problem. Sweeney had powerful family connections. The evidence was never strong enough to charge him. Soon after, he admitted himself into a mental hospital, where he would live for the rest of his life. Even more chilling, for years afterward, Eliot Ness reportedly received taunting postcards believed to be from the killer. The messages mocked the investigation. The butcher knew he had escaped justice. By 1938, the killings suddenly stopped. No arrests were ever made. No one was ever convicted. The identity of the Cleveland torso murderer remains one of the most disturbing mysteries in American criminal history. A killer who butchered his victims, disappeared into the shadows, and may have taken his secret to the grave. Sometimes the most terrifying monsters are the ones who were never caught.